Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nanny News. It's your host, Ashley Cunningham, aka Nanny Announcements. Are y'all ready for tonight? Because when I tell you, we got something very, very juicy to share with y'all. Yes, there's a few stories that we have to share with. The biggest juicy story I feel like all of us are going to be like, huh? It's about Princess Diana, and new stories are coming out about how she was very jealous of the nanny that she had at the time during her divorce with Prince Charles. I mean, very jealous. The stories that I have been reading, the information that's coming out about it is juicy, and we're here to share with all of you. Also, we're going to be sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly stories from the parent side of having a nanny. Some of these stories are hilarious. Some of them are like, are you serious? And some of them, of course, are like, okay, yes, go nanny. All right, guys, stay tuned for another episode of Nanny News. Before we get started sharing this juiciness I have for you guys, I need y'all to do something for me. I need y'all to stop what you're doing, subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed already, because if you haven't, what the heck are you doing? You're missing out on all the things that are happening in the nanny industry. Once you subscribe, please like this video and comment below if you liked it or didn't like it, if you thought these stories were good, stories were not so good, or if you have a story that you would like for us to share. Comment below. We want to hear from you guys. Okay, now that y'all did that, let's get started. Okay, guys, so we're going to be starting with the juiciest story of them all, the Princess Diana story of how she became jealous of her nanny at the time. It all started when she got a divorce from Prince Charles in 1993. Princess Diana and Prince Charles separated, and they went their separate ways. While they went their separate ways, Prince Charles knew for a fact that he was not going to be able to handle his sons, which is Prince Henry and Prince William, at the time's schedule. He was nowhere near that they was going to be able to handle that, with top of being the prince. So he knew he was going to need a nanny. So he hired this one woman named Tiggy. I will put her full name on the link below just for privacy issues. I mean, even though her name is already out in public, but we're going to go with Miss Tiggy, because that's what she went by when she was a nanny, was Miss Tiggy. So Tiggy came along and came into Prince Henry's life and Prince William's life and became the top-notch nanny. She had plenty of educational experience background. She came from the Royals nanny, educational nanny they have, that school that they have there. She went from there. She went training in there. She worked in the royal family already, but just doing a different job, not considered as the nanny at the time. But when they got the divorce, Prince Charles knew that he needed her, so he hired her as her nanny. Now, this is where it all starts. She becomes the nanny, and we all know that when we're a nanny, we're very involved in the children's lives. I'm talking involved. Like, we know just as much as the parents, and sometimes we know a little bit more about the child than the parent does. And that doesn't mean that the parent is a bad parent. It's just that that's just how our job is. We're so hands-on with the child that we know so much and pay attention to so much. But anyways, so Tiggy did her job, y'all. She did her thing. She was doing a nanny. She was becoming the top-notch royal, just doing her thing. On the outside, on the backhand, Princess Diana was becoming jealous of her because of all the goodness that she was doing with her children's life. Basically, she was becoming really close with Prince Henry and William, and it felt like Princess Diana felt like she was losing her connection with her kids and not as close as they were with Miss Tiggy. So this is where it gets juicy. Well, Princess Diana started coming up with these rumors. Basically, these rumors stating that Tiggy was having an affair with Prince Charles. And Prince Charles was remarried at the time after Princess Diana to this other woman. And Princess Diana was assuming that she was having an affair. Tiggy was having an affair with Prince Charles. And the only reason why this came out, that she was having an affair, was because Tiggy, they were at an event and Prince Charles gave her a kiss on the cheek. Like, you know, you know what they do in, oh, hi, darling, how you doing? The mwah, mwah, that, you know, y'all, that's greeting. Like, that's saying hello in the form of, in London, right? Well, Princess Diana twisted that story, y'all, and basically stated that because he kissed her on the cheek, they're dating. They have an affair. They must love each other. So that's what she went with. Princess Diana spread it around, basically stating that Tiggy was having an affair with Prince Charles based off of that picture that came in the tabloids. It just keeps getting more juicier, y'all. So Princess Diana and her former publicist at the time were trying to land Diana on a big interview on the BBC channel, which is the London channel we all know in London, right? That's the biggest channel they have there, the BBC, right? And she was trying to land an interview, which we all know she landed, right? But to get to that interview, there was some twisties and some lies that had to twine back to our girl, Miss Tiggy. Princess Diana and her publicist have came up with a rumor stating that Tiggy had an abortion by Prince Charles. She was pregnant by Prince Charles, so she had an abortion. They went so far with this rumor that they came up with a fake receipt so that basically Diana took this so she could make this story so big and so she could get on BCC, the interview. So they lied. So Princess Diana and her publicist lied to the BBC industry peoples, saying that Tiggy got this abortion. We need to get this story out. I need to share this. I need to share my side of the story. And that's how Princess Diana got her interview on the BBC back then. Straight lied, you guys. She straight came up with a rumor and a fake receipt that she had an abortion. On the abortion was obviously Tiggy's name, the abortion's date, all the information that they needed to know. And they showed that they used that to get the interview so she can get her interview. Yeah, this gets even more crazier. So that all came out, right? Basically stating she had an abortion. Tiggy was obviously embarrassed. It's not true. 100% not true. The big old Christmas party comes around. They all throw a big old party at the palace. Everybody comes. Everybody's there. So, of course, Princess Diana was there. Of course, Prince Charles was there. Of course, Tiggy was there with Prince Henry and Prince William because she was doing her job as being the nanny. So Princess Diana got the courage the second she saw Tiggy at the party, y'all. Went up to Tiggy and said, as loud as she could say, "Oh, I'm so sorry for the baby's loss. I'm so sorry for your baby's loss." Plain as day. For everybody to hear. Tiggy was so embarrassed that she left the party, y'all. Tears coming down her face. Just enough was enough. Enough was enough. So after the Christmas party, it got even more juicier. I'm telling you all, Princess Diana was not playing with Tiggy, okay? What got even more juicier is that Princess Diana wrote a letter stating that a few weeks before she got in her accident, that her husband was going to cause an accident, a fatal car crash with brake failure and head trauma to both Princess Diana and to his former wife at the time, so he could be with Tiggy. That's exactly what it said in the note. Now, this letter didn't come out until, honestly, you guys, just a few years ago. Princess Charles was questioned again in around 2005-ish about the letter. The letter came out and it stated this, and he got questioned, but it ended up being released because none of it was true. Like, there was just nothing that they could prove that was true, was that he caused the accident, he did all that. But what really got me in this whole whole story is just how Princess Diana really was to Tiggy. Like, I mean, the highest of, we considered the royal family the highest family to obviously be a nanny for, treated their nanny like that. And you don't know that on that back end, looking obviously from the tabloids and all that stuff. Like, we didn't know that until all these stories started coming out. And it was just like, what? When I read this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is juicy. Like, this is really juicy. Princess Diana was really jealous of her nanny of the time that was taking care of Prince Henry and Prince William. Y'all want to know a cool fact though? Miss Tiggy, she was involved with Prince Henry's and William's life their entire life. She actually even attended Prince Henry and Meghan Markle's wedding in 2018. She was one of the people at the wedding and was able to come. I mean, she was basically their mother at some points of their life to help them get through that. And she was also with them during the trauma of after they lost their mother. So Tiggy holds a special place, I'm sure, in Prince Henry and William's heart, and I'm sure they hold a special place in her heart. It's just crazy that Miss Tiggy had to deal with all that drama from Miss Dramaness over there, Princess Diana. And I'm not going to call her any names because we don't really know any circumstances or anything like that. But, girl, come on now. I'm just playing. But Tiggy, we are here with you. We stand with you. Y'all, next episode, I want to get a little bit more juicier with it and get more involved with it and find out more information if I can find Tiggy's side of the story. Because I know Tiggy has come up with the side. So I'm going to share her side of the story, see if I can find some more juiciness for it. Because this story is juicy. Like, I thought it was a good story when I read it. Like, okay. Like, I know y'all out there probably want to read it, so. You can find the link for the Princess Diana and Miss Tiggy's story below in the comment section. Actually, you can find all the links that we have been using to find these stories below in the comment section, so you can get more information and read the entire story, because obviously we glimpsed it down. Okay, so we're jumping all to a different section now, and we're going to be talking about the parent side of their stories of having a nanny. The funny, the good, the bad, the ugly, all the above is what we're going to be sharing. I'm going to share some of the stories by reading them to you exactly word for word of what they said. And then some of them I'm going to summarize. But if you want the full link of all these stories, they're going to be in the link below in the comment section. Now, I want to say before I get started that some of these stories none of this is me, right? None of this is me, because I got to put this out on my channel. Like, none of this is me as a nanny. I wouldn't do none of these things. It's entertainment. It's funny. Some nannies in our industry are not meant to be nannies and are not consider themselves as a career nanny. I consider myself as a career nanny, so I'm very, very professional when I go into houses and take my job very seriously. Now, I cannot count for the other ones that don't take this seriously, like some of these stories. Because some of these stories are like, seriously, like this one. Not a nanny can, because this happened in the 90s. I don't think we had them in Scotland then, but my mom came home early one day because she had become suspicious of our nanny, as my sister and I never slept the day after with her. She found my sister and I in bed in the middle of the day. Turned out my nanny had been giving us child medicine to make us sleep all day so she could sit and do nothing. Like, really? Just don't be a nanny then. If you don't want to do your job, then don't be a nanny. I mean, come on now. This is another one. It wasn't actually a nanny cam, but it was a security cam that was pointed to the back door. We caught her walking outside to smoke a bowl of our weed while the baby was down for a nap. It was not her proudest moment, but we are friends and we did not give a dang about the weed. We thought it was funny when she started talking to the dog about weather. So they caught her nanny smoking weed outside. Didn't think it was fun. I thought it was hilarious. Didn't care. Thought it was hilarious. I think that's, I mean, honestly, you guys, that's hilarious. Now, never in my life would I smoke weed on the job, smoke weed in general, whatever. But anyways, this is hilarious. Like, how did she get caught smoking? Like, why would you do that anyways? Like, why would you do that on the job? Like, come on now. And then you know that there's cameras. Like, even you know it's not a security camera. Like, even though you know it's not a nanny camera, the cameras are meant to still view something. Like, there's cameras in my house, like my nanny house now that I work for, but they're not nanny cams. They're security cameras, and they're only strictly used for security wise. But he could still see everything I'm doing. He could still hear everything I'm doing. So why would you even chance it, honey? Do that if that's what you like to do. Do that after work, boo boo. Do that after work. Okay, we don't need to be high on the job, baby. Do that after work if that's what your pleasure is. Off the clock, you're off the clock. You're off the clock. On the clock, baby. Professional as professional can be. Okay. The next one is, my aunt has a nanny cam and she found my older cousin's babysitter playing blackjack with him. Guess what, y'all? The nanny lost $50. She lost $50. Ain't that karma? I mean, what you doing teaching a little baby playing jack? I mean, I guess that's okay. I mean, as long as it's okay with the parents. I mean, I guess. Like, I don't see a problem with it. Now, it may be teaching them habits. Now, that's a whole, we'll talk about that later. But, I mean, it's a game. A game is a game, right? It's a card game. So, as long as the parent was cool with it, I would see no problem with it. But I don't know if I would legitimately be playing with my real money, though, because $50, that's $50. $50. Okay, this one. Okay, one more nanny camera story, and then we're going to move on to just stories about nannies. All right, this one is, okay. So the nanny family we caught her rummaging through her closet and stealing. My friend caught her nanny. Okay, so this is her friend sharing the story. My friend caught her nanny going through her closet and stealing a blouse. She confronted her about it when she returned home. The woman played innocent. And y'all want to know what? The nanny was wearing the blouse. Like, come on now. Like, what? She got, first of all, you know you got caught, right, when somebody asks you. And so just be upfront with it. Take your L. Take your consequence, baby. You messed up, so now you're going to have to take a consequence. But instead, you sit there act all, oh, no, I didn't wear it. I don't know what you're talking about. Then, baby, did you forget that you had it on? Like, if I was a mom, I'd be like, well, did you forget that you have it on? I'd be like, it looked real nice on you then. Like, come on now. Like, okay, this goes back to my first statement earlier. If you don't want to be a nanny, don't be a nanny, okay? Like, seriously, come on now. We don't steal. Like, that's their stuff. That's their property. Because imagine if they came into our house and they did that to our stuff. Y'all would be mad. Come on now, nanny. Come on now. We could do better. Do better. Okay, so now we talked about the nanny cam stories and how parents caught their nannies doing certain things. All these stories are in the link below. Now we're gonna jump to just stories that just like parents just shared in general, right? Just in general about their nanny. Nothing that they really caught their nanny doing, just their nanny's personality. This one is kind of annoying as a nanny. As a career nanny, this one really annoyed me because come on now. It says that the mother was very happy to have her as her nanny, like very, very happy. Like the kids loved her, the kids, everything she did, she was great. Like she did her job very well. The only thing is that baby girl couldn't get to work on time. And we all know as a nanny, we have to be on work on time because if we late, the parents late, then it's a spiral effect, right? Like unlike if another corporate job, you could just be 5 minutes late, then you could just be 5 minutes late, right? But here in nannies, baby, that don't work like that. Like, because we got other people relying on us to get there to relieve them, just like this mother is. So the mother worked in a very intense environment where being late was not an option at all. And we all know that some parents work in a very intense environment like that. Doctors, nurse, pediatric, I mean, anything that, firefighter, like all those serious jobs, like, and sometimes you got a meeting, like, got to be on time. And it's just professional to be on time. So the nanny was having trouble being late. So the first few times she was late, the excuse was that she forgot something, so she had to turn around and go grab it from her house, or her sick relative called her, just making up these excuses. More traffic, just excuse after excuse. So the mom, since she liked her and her kids adored her, she dealt with it, right? Just like everything else, some of us, like we do. Like, there's some pros that we love about our families, and there's some cons that we don't like about our family, but it doesn't make us leave them, right? It's just like everything else. It's pros and cons. So the pros was that she was amazing, but the con was that she was late. And so the mom kept, telling her, like, you're going to have to be on time, baby girl. You're going to have to be on time. But it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, to the point the nanny was 25 minutes late daily, 25 minutes late daily, which made the mom 25 minutes late, which made the mom start getting in trouble at job, which we all know if the mom gets in trouble at the job and she loses the job, what happens to us? Because, you know what I'm saying? They job pays for our job, low key, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, so I'm like, so the mom had to let her go. This happened in Florida. The mom's name is Megan, and the mom is 29 years old, and the mom's name is Megan, not the nanny. And yeah, so she had to let go of her nanny because she was late, but she was an excellent nanny. Shaking my head. I mean, shaking my head. Okay, so this next one gonna irk your soul too. The next few stories gonna irk your soul. Just being as a career nanny, and we all know we professional, baby. Okay, we all know we got them reviews. Now these people, they ain't got no reviews. But I'm gonna read this story word for word because this one is annoying too. Okay, this is super strange, but my husband fired our nanny because she couldn't speak Spanish. Here's the backstory. My husband is from Mexico and speaks the language of his native country fluently. And I am in a town in Oklahoma that isn't much more than a cornfield, so I don't speak Spanish. Which she's right, ain't nothing much more cornfield. But when we had our son, it was really important to us that we had the awareness and appreciation of my husband's culture, namely by being bilingual. However, my husband often traveled for work, so there isn't always anyone around who can speak Spanish to him. So we decided to hire a Spanish-speaking caregiver to help reinforce the language when my husband was away. During the interview process, it felt immediate connection to the last woman I met with. When I asked her if she spoke Spanish, she affirmed that she did. I never thought to question her anymore about that. Ding, ding, ding. That's step one for the parents' problem. Why you ain't question her more, or like ask her to do, some practice. But anyways, that's our, we live and we learn. But so she didn't thought to question anymore, and hired her right away. The first few weeks were fine, but a month into her appointment, my husband got home before I did. And when he started speaking to the nanny in Spanish, she didn't respond. Her eyes got wide, and she froze in place. After a few awkward minutes, she finally admitted to my husband that she did not speak the language, but desperately needed a job, so she lied about it. My husband told her on the spot that we couldn't keep her on. We joke about it now, but at the time it felt so unreal that sometimes I still can't believe that happened. Tiffany, Chicago, Illinois. Tiffany is the mama's name, not the nanny. We don't know the nanny's name, obviously confidentiality wise. But So obviously the first mistake that Tiffany made was not questioning her nanny by asking her to speak Spanish to her during the interview instead of just assuming that she did. Now the nanny is wrong, all wrong. How you gonna lie? How you gonna say you got something and you don't got something? Like, come on now. Like, you know that it wasn't gonna work out. Like, you just knew that wasn't gonna come out, especially if you knew the husband spoke Spanish fluently. Like, you knew he was gonna speak to you one of them days. Like, so what was you gonna do? Like, these are just prime examples to be upfront during your interview, you guys. Tell them everything. Yes, we all know we may be, even if you desperately need a job, and even if this family looks like your unicorn family or sounds like your unicorn family, be upfront. Tell them everything, even if it's something that you know that they might not like. And if they don't like it, too bad. That's on them. And if they tell you something that they don't like and you can't handle it, too bad. You know what I'm saying? That's on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's okay. Move on. We got other families out here. Okay? Don't lie. Don't lie. Okay, y'all? Just don't lie. It ain't good. It gonna come back to you. This one irks my soul to the max. Like, irks my soul to the max. Like, to the point, that's why I put my hand on here. Because when I read this one, I said, are you serious? Listen, now this ain't gonna irk your soul about what the nanny did. It's gonna irk your soul about what the mother did to the nanny off of the nanny's actions. Okay. This is a little embarrassing to admit. Y'all want to know why? Because it is embarrassing. Listen. But I fired my nanny because my daughter was getting too attached to her. I'll read that over again. This is a little embarrassing to admit, but I fired my nanny because she was getting too attached to her. My daughter was getting too attached to her. I would get home from work and my daughter would have no interest in seeing me, would even cry hysterically when the nanny would have to leave. It got to the point where I had such serious working mom guilt that I told the nanny that we no longer needed childcare. I felt pretty bad after the fact. Well, no! You should feel sorry. I'm so, like, yes, okay, we know as a nanny, as a career nanny, let me just say that because some nannies out here don't know this and are working to become career nannies. But as a career nanny, we know that it happens, right? Jealousy happens. It can happen as a mom. We know the mom guilt because yes, we nannies are very involved in the children's life. And as a mom, it's guilty. You feel as a mom, you're guilty. Like, why I should be doing that. But you can't, moms can't do that. And that's okay. And that doesn't mean that the child does not love you anymore because that child loves the mom and dad, okay? Yes, there are times in the child's life where the child will grow attachments to the nanny, and it may seem like they don't have any attachment to their parent, but that's not the case at all. That's just how children's brains work when they're developing and growing relationships with people, and sometimes they adapt and grow, closer to one person through their circumstances that they have going on in their head at that time than the other person. And it could flip. Something could happen in their mind one day and it flip. She could be crying hysterically to the nanny and then it will flip. So as a parent, if you're a parent or a nanny and this ever situation happens, like, don't fire your nanny about it. Sit down with your nanny and talk about solutions to how we can fix this problem. Because that story is exactly how Princess Diana's story happened. That's a form of jealousy. And jealousy is very real, as like I said. It could be real. And we as nannies know that. So just talk to your parents. Just talk to your kids, your nanny about it, not parents. So if you're a nanny, talk to your parents about this. Bring it up in the interviews. Like, this is something that isn't brought up a lot. A few announcements. First of all, happy October. It's the first week of October, second week of October. A couple weeks ago was National Nanny Recognition Week. And I want y'all to know that y'all stepped out and did y'all's thing. We shared over 60 giveaways. I know there was more giveaways that happened. It's just that's how many giveaways that we shared. Over 60. Also, there were over 20 events that were held all over the world because some were happening in the UK and some were happening over here. The world. I just want to say, like, y'all, I'm so proud of us. Like, that is amazing. Like, amazing. Like, I couldn't, like, there's so many giveaways this year, you guys. Like, every single nanny agency did something, I swear. Every nanny, like, nannypreneur did a giveaway. We was boom, 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 boom. I mean, we was posted left and right. Every time I got onto my page, there was a new giveaway coming out. So congrats to the winners of all the giveaways that happened, and congrats to you guys as nannies as being the best nannies ever and celebrating our week and bringing in and making noise in this industry, like Jada Rashad says. So our next event that is coming up that's very major is Nannypalooza, which is happening, I believe, this weekend. We will not be attending this year. It's our goal to make it a priority to attend next year. As you know, this year has been very up and down for us. So we weren't able to make it this year. But if you are going to Nannypalooza, have the best time ever. I mean, the best time. Enjoy every single moment of it. We all know what it's like to be away from each other. And this is a moment where you come together and you see all these nannies and meet nannies. So take as many pictures as you can, post as many pictures as you can, so we can live through y'all's weekend and enjoy every moment of it. And we will see you next year in Nannypalooza. The next shout out I want to give is to Nanny Cam on the Go. She just launched a new book, How to Find the Perfect Nanny. It's a book about if you are looking to hire a nanny, and also if you're a nanny, period. Just gives you tips and tricks and ways to how to get that perfect nanny and how to become that perfect nanny. So please go to Nanny Cam's profile and go to her website and purchase her ebook. It's an ebook, y'all, and it's like 29 pages because she knows that we ain't got time to read, which I love her. It's only 29 pages long. So go purchase her book. It's $15 and it's an ebook, so you can read it whenever, have it whenever. You can print it off. You can put it in your profile, so you can go to your interviews and you can open this book and be like, I'm the perfect nanny because I read How to Become the Perfect Nanny by Nanny Cam on the Go, because Nanny Cam on the Go is a perfect nanny. Boom! And ain't nobody gonna tell you no after that. So go give my girl some love and shout her out. Support her. Go purchase her book. It's only $15. And it's an ebook too, which I love ebooks. So Nanny Cam on the Go. Congrats to you. Okay, so another company that we just want to give a quick shout out with, and if you have not followed, please go follow them. It's Smiles for Miles. They reached out to us after our first video and thanked us personally for just bringing this platform to them. And it was honestly, it touched our hearts so much. Also, what really got us was that they made a whole new YouTube account, because she said that she doesn't even watch YouTube, but she watches our channel for us, just so she can stay informed with all things happening. So thank you so much. We truly appreciate your love and support. Everyone go follow Smiles for Miles. Okay, so you're all probably wondering, how can we stay up to date with everything happening in nanny industry? Because it's impossible for me just to sit here and share everything that's going on, because it's gonna be that's a whole nother YouTube video. So, you know, your girl has come up with something very, very, very easy for you. A calendar. Yes, we have come back out with our calendar. We came out with it a few months ago when we first started Nanny Announcements, but this time we have upgraded it to a whole new level, and we are in the process of working on it for this month's calendar. So, and we are going to be launching it with us in 1 week. So if you have an event, you better come email me at nannyannouncements@gmail.com so I know to put your event on the calendar. The calendar is going to be for a purchase for a small price, just to pay for the time and work that I have to do on the back end of it, because it ain't easy just plotting and going, y'all. I'm going to be charging a minimum fee, and just a monthly minimum fee just so you can keep up with all dates. But anyways, all you're going to have to do is go to that calendar. It's going to work for both Androids and Apple phones. You're going to go to that calendar. You're going to open up that calendar, and it's literally going to say nanny announcements. And it's going to be the announcements for the week. Each week, it's going to have all the events, who made the event. It's going to say what time the event is, what time zone the event is, and it will have the link to the event if it's a Zoom event. You're welcome. I promise you, this is going to be so amazing. I know that a lot of you guys are going to be very, very much appreciative of this because it's hard to keep up with things. I get lost in my own mix of things. So the calendar will be coming out in about 1 week from today. And stay tuned for it. Yes, it will be very, really good. All right, guys. So this is it for the second episode of Nanny News. Well, you guys got your juicy fix in for the week because them are juicy. And like I said before, all the links to these stories will be in the comment section below. So you can check out the full stories there. Also, if you haven't already, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Nanny News. We hope that you have an extraordinary next couple weeks. We will see you soon. Bye. Love ya.